I don't know.
By the follow button.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
like up there
yes,
or
it
what?
is.
Hell yeah, we in this bitch. Give me
Follow
money.
button.
Yeah, yeah, like up there or what? Hell yeah, we in this bitch. Give me money.
But now you need a sub notification.
Do you think I wasn't prepared? Hold on.
Okay, alright. But now you need a sub
This dude thinks
notification.
he's prepared. Don't lie to me.
Do you think I wasn't prepared? Hold on. I made the $1 Million Man one.
This dude thinks he's prepared. Don't lie to me.
I made the $1 Million Man one.
Subscribe and donate so we can improve the quality of that. Just goes to drugs.
Everything
Yeah.
goes to drugs.
Donate so we
You
can
ain't lie.
improve the
You ain't never
quality.
lie.
It's the best drugs. But the thing is, we sell the drugs in order to get more money, which we will then use to improve the stream. And
The
buy more
drugs, the drugs by default improve the quality of the stream.
Really? I guess maybe for the streamer. I don't know about the people watching the stream.
Where the fuck is the alert? There it is. Am I on the wrong Streamlabs link? I want to test this one out. I am logged in, you dumb son of a bitch.
Clearly not.
Oh no.
You don't
I
know
wanna-
what you're talking
I
about.
want to DJ a party and just have it be the T7 soundtrack and see if anybody calls me out on it.
You know, honestly, I think if you had the right mix, you can get away with it.
Yeah.
Like, I think you can't just have the T7 soundtrack because people are going to catch wise. I feel like if you had enough mix of Tekken games and maybe some Streets of Rage 2, like, you can definitely, like, pull a fast one.
Man, nobody goes to parties where nerds DJ.
They don't know that, though. Like, they don't know what
The
for all you know-
music doesn't sound like actual
Are you
music
fucking
to us.
kidding me?
No.
Oh, okay. Like,
No, dude, nobody goes to parties
just
and
ca-
listens to chip tunes.
nobody.
I just-
I'm not saying fucking chip tunes. I'm talking about
Yeah, I'm
like.
talking about
You said
Tekken
Streets-
7.
You said Streets of Rage.
You think
What, are
there's
you gonna
not?
get fully orchestrated Streets of Rage?
You don't think there's an Arrange album for Streets of Rage?
Yeah. Hold
I
on.
mean, I haven't
I'm
seen
I'm
it.
gonna look this up casually.
I
And
mean, I'm
even
sure
if there
people
was,
cover it.
even if it was, I would just call it like, I don't know, Fetty Wap Ragey Street Edition.
Fetty Wap
Fetty Wap.
Ragey Street Edition. Really, dude?
I don't know. I had Fetty Wap in my head.
You've been listening to way too much Trap Queen.
It's like some songs you can get away with. Like, what was it? Fucking.
Oh no! Was it Hubs or somebody posted on Twitter like having a pen pal that was a little girl, and her favorite music, like she was writing in Japanese, and her favorite music was High School Musical and Fetty Wap.
Oh yeah, Huber.
Yeah. It was Hoover.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. That's why I had it in my head.
High School Musical is pretty old now, isn't it? And Glee also, like, does
10
Glee?
years?
Glee's not still on, is it?
I don't know.
No.
Okay,
2015.
dude. There's the Project X Zone music of Go Straight, which is modern instrumentation. You can totally pass it. Nobody will fucking know. That's
Sounds
right.
like a plan.
Hey, look at
I
this.
don't know
Look at
about
this.
that.
Look, you can totally sneak this one. This just sounds like another club banger.
I feel like if nobody calls you out in the first like 15 to 30 seconds, you're good.
Yeah, I feel like it still sounds like video game music.
Nah, man. People are drugged up. Or drunk.
Okay, but shit, you can pass almost anything on people who are drugged up.
Yeah, they're fucking drunk, dude. They're drunk. They're having a time. All they know is they're just hearing some, some going on. Some oomps. Like, maybe in the breakdown it might get sus, but I think you can totally sneak it.
I also had no idea that there are Streets of Rage characters in X Zone.
Yeah. It was a bunch of Sega characters.
I had no idea Sega's in that game.
It's... What?
I never played those games.
Well, it's a bunch of companies, right?
Yeah, because it was Namco, it was Capcom, and it was Sega.
Oh, I just thought it was Namco Capcom.
Wow. Not even believing in Sega, dude.
You know, sometimes I forget Sega's a thing.
I think sometimes Sega forgets they're a thing too.
And then they bring me a Yakuza game, and I'm like, okay.
I'm okay with this.
Or Sonic Maniacs. Maniacs?
It's just Mania.
Mania?
It's just Mania.
Oh, see, that's why, because Namco Cross Capcom didn't have Sega characters in it.
Yeah, but all the Project X zones were like explicitly what you call it. You know, the 3 companies.
But I thought that was all part of one series.
Wasn't Namco Capcom just its own thing?
Project X Zone is considered the follow-up to Namco Cross Capcom.
And they just
I
added in
didn't-
Sega.
I didn't even realize there was a Project X Zone too, so there you go.
Oh yeah.
I have like a PS3 version of it. I have Cross Edge for PS3, which is Capcom, Namco, Nippon Ichi, and Gust. Which is kind of weird in retrospect.
I don't even know. Apparently, Project X Zone 2 has Nintendo characters in it too. Oh. Weird. Whatever.
Oh shit, was that a follow? What the fuck just happened? Oh hell yeah, whoa fuck. It's the old Bloodhawk. Actually, shit, now I gotta make an alert for that.
Ye
These
old
guys-
Bloodhawk.
You got the spooky letters.
Yeah. Dude. Stays on brand.
Did you ever tweet this out? I don't even
I'm
think you
doing
did.
it. Hold on, fuck. Typing things is hard.
Damn. The Super NES Classic is up at Best Buy. So it is. When is it supposed to come out? September 29th, huh? Huh. Huh.
There we go. There's a fucking tweet gone out. We did it.
I like that. And I have a sub button now.
Why is this? Did they change the way the Streamlabs looks? This is creeping me out.
Why are you asking me? You know I don't stream.
I'm talking to fucking ye old Steve.
Steve doesn't stream.
Yeah, he does.
Don't lie
Sometimes.
to, don't lie to me.
Steve's the
What'd you
one I
say?
fucking like take all the stuff from. Like, did they change the way Streamlabs looks? It's all like background's all different.
Yeah, they made some changes to it.
Yeah, there you go. Look, there's the fake one. John just donated $44. It
Good old
works.
Ye old John.
Thanks, John.
I like it. This is a test donation.
Oh, you mean that doesn't give me $44 every time? This is so fucking scam.
If only the test donation gave you real money.
Yeah, like what the fuck, test donation? I'm trying to
Test
get
donation.
breaded up.
Test donation fucking you over. Bullet.
Bullet. Brrrah, brrrah. Man, I think Twitch definitely caught on to my idea. I'm just
What was your
gonna
idea?
farm their test donations to give me money. They're like a multi-billion-dollar company, right?
Yeah. I actually have no idea if Twitch even makes money.
Oh shit, I got shot.
You also didn't change the game.
God damn it, why do I never do that?
Because you're the most forgetful person ever.
Look, I'm equal parts incredibly attentive and absent-minded.
How is that even possible?
Look, you give me focus, I will do something with all my attention.
So if I give you 3 out of 5.
Oh, fuck off.
But
There we
if you
go.
have 2 out of 3, you're gonna lose, is what you're telling me.
Look, like, have you ever thought about the thing that bugs me the most, like, with 3 out of 5 is, like, it's never brought up after somebody wins. It's always, like, after they feel like they got robbed.
Well, yeah, of course.
It's never like
nobody's like, man, I won. Whew, that was really close. But man, I would have been great if I had played that extra game.
yeah. If only I wouldn't have robbed that guy.
Nobody says that shit. The only times they talk about 3 out of 5 is in a vacuum. They'll be like, man, should play a 3 out of 5. But it really normally is just, there are people who just want to play more games in general. And those people exist, don't get me wrong. But then there's a lot of people who are just like, man, you do too much damage, you get hit once and you just lose. And it's like, that doesn't really happen. It just doesn't happen.
I really want to take up the statistics of like how often that does happen compared to like when it doesn't. Like, I know, can we get like, what's his name, Glenn on this? Like from,
Get your tournament?
yeah.
Does Glenn do stuff like that anymore?
I'm pretty sure he still does. Like,
I think someone brought up I think Glenn did some CPT thing of how many times somebody is down 2-0 to come back 3-2. And it was like, I want to say like 60 times out of 400 and something. So like maybe like 20% of the time.
so,
Or like maybe like less than 20%. I'm gonna try and find a tweet.
We're gonna find tweets.
Because that's always easy on Twitter.
actually, do you know the search tech?
I don't know how to search tweets on Twitter.
Where you just type from user and then just whatever you're looking for?
I want to figure this out.
Oh, by the way, apparently the Super NES Classic is up for a pre-sale in Best Buy for those who really, really need it really, really bad. Then again, considering how Nintendo stocked the first one, I can understand people wanting to pre-order.
Didn't they say that...
They say a lot of things, man.
I want to trust Nintendo.
They also said that the Switch was going to be able to be bought too. Just saying. People still can hardly get them without having to buy like the big fucking...
The bundles.
Yeah. I mean, some of the bundles really aren't that bad. Because it's like, you get a bundle with Splatoon 2, and that's fine.
Yeah, because there's definitely bundles people want to get, or they'd get regardless. But, you know, like, I want to trust Nintendo. I believe in them. Oh, fuck, shouldn't freeze them when they fucking fire the damn thing. I'm an idiot.
You're the best, man.
I am.
But I just think... So, the biggest argument for 3 out of 5 is always more consistent, obviously. You know, more games leads to greater consistency, statistics, right?
Right.
The thing about it is that the argument could easily be made for then we should play 4 out of 7 or 5 out of 9.
Yeah, it's this escalating thing, like, where do we call it?
Right.
Like, we always joke around about the wacky formats of, like, you know, win by 2, or, you know, some obnoxious fucking amount.
Yeah, it's like, shouldn't we just play first to 5s?
Yeah.
The thing about it is that where you call it is completely arbitrary. So 3 out of 5 is arbitrary as well. It doesn't change all that much.
Well, at least it makes that one person feel a little bit better that they got clapped up.
I just, honestly, there are, outside of Marvel 3, which legitimately had situations where you lost one character and then you lost the entire game to Firebrand.
Yeah.
Every time you lose in a game, it's your fault.
Completely
You
agree.
made a decision, a bad decision at the beginning of the game or in neutral, and you put yourself in you accidentally got put into a situation by making a bad decision, and then you lost. That's your fault. I don't like the idea that I want 35 chances to make the right decision. Like, that's slow and boring and plotting.
Okay, I found the tweet.
Okay.
Glenn says that in CPT top 8s, being up 2-0 or 2-1 has a 85% win rate. So that's combining the two, I think. And then he says later on in the thread where if it's just up 2-0, it's almost 90% win rate.
Okay. So So 10%, roughly 10% of the time, if you're down 2-0, you might come back.
Mhm.
Almost inconsequential at that point.
I mean, I'd have to actually go back.
What's statistically significant? That's the question.
That's the thing, and I was about to say I haven't taken statistics in a long enough time to remember what the percentage for statistically significant is in things like this. I believe that 10% is over the threshold, but it also depends on. I think you have to take into consideration other things, and people talk about time being one of them, and time is a pretty big deal too. And I know all the players like to say, oh, it doesn't take that much more time, but I've already seen a bunch of events this season, this year, whatever, run late because of things like 3 out of 5. I know that Injustice has run late because of 3 out of 5.
Tekken's 2 out of 3 until finals, and we barely make it on time. I try to pay attention especially when I'm doing commentary, like when we start and when we stop, and like we barely hit that 2-hour mark every time.
Yeah, like if everybody's basically holding forward and nobody's running away, yeah, I guarantee you're right. 3 out of 5 probably not a big deal, but when people actually start down backing and playing really slow and like deliberate,
So high level play. That's basically what we're getting at.
Yeah, I would imagine so.
Yeah, like if we're in your locals where you just have 2 people playing slobber knocker rushdown characters, I'm pretty sure 3 out of 5 is going to end just as fast as 2 out of 3. But when you start running into people that are taking a lot of stock into their decisions and having like really methodical play, you have to assume that it's going to run to timer, or that the timer is going to be a factor, right? So that means you have to consider that it's going to go to the maximum amount of time, which we know is not real-time seconds. It's a little more.
Oh, yeah, especially in the case of Injustice.
Yeah. So you have to assume that every game can potentially go to max.
Yeah.
So if that's the case, like, Tekken is probably one of the shortest games possible just because of how its timer...
60-second timer now, yeah.
And even then, like you said, you're still kind of scraping by.
Yeah, but Tekken has 3 out of 5 rounds compared to everybody else. So that's a different consideration.
And that's one of the things that you can't really apply to other games just because of how meter management and things like that can affect it. Because Tekken, there's just rage management, but that's per round. No, rage doesn't carry over. There's never the cancel.
Yeah, only Eliza and Akuma in this now, but traditionally, you're right.
And in the case of like something like Street Fighter, there's meter management, overdrive or burst management in anime games and things like that. But for Tekken, it's just, rage and then 2 and now potentially 3 with Geese, unique exceptions, right?
Yep.
And that's out of a 30-something odd cast. Like, that's fine. It's basically inconsequential. But I don't see that being the standard for other games, and I don't think that the justification, which, by the way, a lot of people that fucking complain about 3 out of 5 not being the standard just have the fucking shittiest arguments for it. Like, what kind of fucking thing are you going to tell me that, it's just facts, and then present me 0 facts? It's just common sense, like, just fucking tell me that it's common sense, and then never tell me why common sense is that way. Like, we just cited somebody that takes notes, detailed notes, as to how these games play out, and get your tournament. You could easily just present to me one of his Excel sheets or whatever, and tell me where to draw my conclusions from, right? But instead we get people just like, I'm such and fuck, listen to me. That just makes me not want to listen that much more.
Well, and I think the thing that a lot of players are not considering, too, and this obviously is not going to be something that they've thought about because they don't do this in most cases, is all the extra time that has to be considered for any kind of problems. Like, player can't be found, the system messes up, a piece of equipment, like production equipment messes, like a computer goes down, they're like controller malfunction.
Somebody has to pitch a fucking intense deuce.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's why I say a player can
Yeah.
be found. Like, there's a lot of different things like a production has to consider that is out of their hands completely.
Oh, easily.
And just to be like, well, if we just go by game time, we need to run it in this many hours. I did the math and it's okay. And it's like, do you ever like pay attention to complicated plan? You know what? You're the fighting game community. Never mind. You don't plan far ahead on shit. So probably nobody should listen to you.
And like you said, nobody's taking the worst case scenario for everything. Like, it's not just the game timer, like we mentioned. It's all the little things that you mentioned. Like, these are factors that nobody's taken into consideration. And they're fucking real. At every tournament. Like, I don't think I can even think of a single tournament that I've been to in my decades of experience that hasn't had some sort of goof up.
Yeah, and it may not even be a big thing.
Yeah. It could honestly be somebody that got told that their match started at the wrong time and they went to eat. That's happened more times than I can count.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, you know, just in any number of tournaments. You know, there was the thing at EVO where online brackets and paper brackets didn't match up for weird reasons. And reasons I don't know. I think it was just that updated, like, the brackets had gotten updated after being printed out. I don't know.
That could have actually just been a goof up on the website, and which is now a gigantic thing because so many tournaments rely on stuff like Challenge or Smash.gg or what have you to run their events.
And so these are all like real things. And you know what the other thing is that there's still the great case of any given Sunday.
Yeah.
Like, any given Sunday, a quote-unquote worse player might just beat a quote-unquote better player. This has happened in sports forever. Like, it happens even, like, you see playoffs of best of sevens, where it'll be like, you know, what was it? The Cubs a couple years ago were the best team in the NL, and they got swept first round in the playoffs. Like, okay.
These things happen.
Like, yeah, these things just happen in everything. Sometimes, you know, you just don't play as well as you think you are.
Sometimes you don't want to win.
Sometimes you don't.
And I think that's a gigantic draw for fighting games, in my opinion, is the possibility that someone could make their name beating, you know, a brand name player, for the lack of a better term, right? You know, your Justin Wongs, your Chris G's, your what have you.
Yeah.
Let's think of somebody like, you know, your favorite person in the whole wide world, Kane Blue River, just coming out of bumfuck nowhere and making a gigantic name for himself. Like, he wasn't a household name.
Yeah.
He was some dude from South America, as far as everyone was concerned, right? They didn't even know the exact country he was from.
Yep.
But now, the dude has a fucking championship under his belt. Now he's the guy to beat. And is he just supposed to be put up on a pedestal now that, you know, he gets to call as many number of games as he wants until he wins? Which is what, to me, feels like a lot of these players are clamoring for. And I just think that's fucking silly. Like, I want somebody to give me a legitimate rationale. None of this fucking, like, just cuz. Like, prove to me that, you know, fucking ye old Jim out there is fucking up the Smash brackets just because, you know, the character he plays has a better win rate and shorter sets.
Well, I've always felt like, too, the idea that you can quote-unquote get randomed out, to me just means that you probably don't know X matchup as well as you think you do.
Yeah.
If you lose 2 entire games because of some shit you've never seen before, you probably don't know as much as you thought you knew.
You probably should know it. That's actually something I would love Steve's input on, and I'm glad you're here. One of the biggest complaints I heard from a lot of players in SoCal about Tag 2 was that it was random. And that never really held any kind of merit with me, because I just felt it wasn't so much random as it was that there was just a far greater width of options compared to, like, Tekken 6, right? Like, there were, what, X like double the cast almost. The tag mechanic being different. Oki situations changing altogether. Yeah. Yeah. Like I don't feel being ill prepared is randomness. I feel like it's just being ill prepared. And it's not the fault of the player in this instance because there's just so much more to learn. You can't really be expected to have super consistent results in the early lifespan of a game.
I mean, it wasn't even. It started playing that way towards the middle of Tag 2. But people called it random when really it's just that when you played somebody that had a team that was worth its salt, you got blown up super fast and super easy if you weren't paying attention. So it's kind of like Marvel in that sense. You could just die in an instant if you're not paying attention. But unlike Marvel, where like the general speed of the gameplay never changed, like it was always going to be a fast-paced game no matter what, people ended up playing slow playing in Tag 2, which made the game last even longer in general because people were scared of dying.
Right, because
So
risks were that much
Yeah.
riskier compared to the previous iterations.
Because of the tag system and everything else. What happened with the tag system in general, and what kind of screwed up the balance, or just made it different from the 1v1 games, is what, because of Tag Assault, most of the top tier teams would end up having, in any sort of combo, they would end up having damage, wall, corner carry, and Oki all together. So they would not only would you take like 50% of your life bar, but then you'd probably be put into a either get to the wall and then get put into a shitty situation and either be forced to tag crash. And tag crash wasn't always like, tag crash is like burst. If you do it shittily, you could just get killed again with your second character. So, I wouldn't say it was just random. It was just like there was just such a steep punishment for making a mistake, and that's just the nature of the game. The game wasn't random, it was just, this is what you buy into when you play this game.
Yeah, the way the tag system worked in Tag 2, it just really stratified the tier list. Like, it was basically like, well, you either play basically like Leo or Lars, or you have a team that just synergizes well to wall carry. And it was basically like you played those characters, and if you didn't play those characters, you're probably not going to have a good time.
I mean, even then, like there were tons of great teams like Brian, Bruce, Bob, Fang, Mishima's. Like double Mishima's would destroy your life bar on almost anything if you were on point. So it wasn't necessarily just Leo and Lars, but yeah, like if you didn't know, if you had one character and you didn't know what to do, then either of those characters are probably a good bet for putting on your team. But top tier teams in Tag 2, like I want to say there were like 10 to 20 characters that were all perfectly good. Not on every single team, but definitely certain combinations of them. Like Jimmy's Brian and Dragunov team fucking destroyed people all the time, and Anakin was playing double jacks. People were playing clone teams and messing people up. But it's just like, it just got to the point where any launch was just like 50% more. Like, like you had 2 life bars for 2 characters, but because it's not like Marvel, you just needed one character to die to lose a round. If it kind of was still like the older tag games where it was like 2.5, maybe 3 juggles and you're still dead, even though you have 2 life bars worth of health to work around.
I also think part of the problem with Tag 2 was that people just people didn't, I didn't really hear a lot about the game being random as much as I just heard people didn't like it as much, because I think a lot of the clone teams took something out of it for people, and then the people who couldn't play clone teams were like, well, I don't want to have to learn 2 different characters, and I think that was a big hurdle for a lot of people.
I think the biggest complaint is what you just said. I felt like people didn't want to have to learn a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's the game's fault.
No, that's just people didn't want to. So,
But what you can't call the game random when you decide to play the game and don't want to learn the game.
Yeah.
yeah,
Like,
exactly.
unless there's legitimately random mechanics, like, Faust random items or tripping.
Or random damage values.
Yeah.
Like Super Turbo or something, but
Yeah, it just doesn't hold up.
yeah. I mean, you had people like KOISG where there was definitely things wrong with the game, like inconsistencies, like hitboxes would be different on 1P or 2P. But again, like KYSG was showing, like this isn't random. This is wonky, but it's replicatable. Like these things are obviously, you know, we can show that it's different on both sides. It's not supposed to be different on both sides, but
Yeah.
you know, it's a consistent thing. So
Yeah, you could say it's a flaw, but that's still
Yeah.
not random.
yeah.
Yeah, it's like that's been the thing in like every Capcom game ever. Actually, at this point, almost every 2D game where you have one side that's different from the other one. Like one corner functions differently.
Mhm.
That's just something people have come to know. Like in Third Strike, certain characters only got crossed up in their own corner. That was just a thing. You prepared for it accordingly. And it's been the case in, you know, it's been the case in Gear, it's been the case in some of the Marvel games. It just seems to be by design almost at this point, right? Like there's something about the way 2D games are put together that just happens to be there. You learn it. You deal with it. It can no longer be called random. Like once you get to the point that you science this kind of stuff out, that term just holds zero merit. And I think that's a lot of the case with complaints now. It's that nobody wants to do the science, or nobody wants to sit down and figure out what genuinely is a problem. Like, it's far easier to complain, and hell, I'm all about complaining, but when you're just making shit up to back your argument, that's where we start to get iffy.
Well, what's funny too is that I haven't seen anybody really complain about Street Fighter 4 in terms of like, oh, the only thing I really like, you know, like I'm just getting, it's always like damage is too high.
You mean
I'm
5,
getting
right?
like throw loop. Yeah, 5.
Yeah.
Whereas opposed to like, look, I'm going to be the first one to say I thought that the damage was way too low in Street Fighter 4 for most of that game's lifespan. When it takes you like 8 to 9 mix-ups to kill somebody, fuck that. That's a slow ass game.
Yeah, that pace was not the friendliest.
Call that a deliberate pace. Jim
Oh,
Ross would call it.
deliberate? We got
Methodical, if you will.
a bunch of chin holds.
It's just people. It's a lot of players that aren't used to higher damage anymore, or never had to play with it. And I don't look like, hey, it's like I said earlier. You know, Zidane went on Twitter. He was talking about he'd just like 3 out of 5.
Yeah.
Okay. He just like 3 out of 5. He's not trying to fucking. He's just like. And maybe that just means he likes to play more games. He's not trying to make it like this is my logical argument. He just wants to play 3 out of 5. If you just want to play 3 out of 5, just say that.
Yeah.
But don't try to make it like, well, logic dictates that we should always play 3 out of 5.
Logically.
We're all heathens. Like what?
Look at all this evidence I have in my evidence
Proper
locker.
keeper.
My binder.
So yeah, it doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
Yeah, and we've discussed it before in SDR, rest in peace.
Yeah.
How formats definitely favor different play styles, different players, different characters, and it's fine. Like there's definitely way more historical evidence for goofy specialist characters in Japan doing well than they are in the States. Holy shit! I just fucking jumped into that.
Good job.
Like think of what was his name? Chikyu, like the Marvel 2 specialist. He played goofy ass teams and he would win. And he definitely came from a format that was one game more often than not, right?
Yeah.
So that means that his particular forte in fighting games was being more prepared at the goofy shit than you were to fight against it. And that's a strat. That's a legitimate strat. Obviously, that particular strat starts to lose effectiveness the more games that are played, right? Because characters that are wacky might end up being lower tier, and the more you play against them, the more you start figuring out their faults, and the more you can properly adjust to their gameplay. But in a 1 or 2 game format, he might be close to unstoppable. And you kind of have to accept that, I would think. You get to a game's... Like, if you get to the end of the lifespan, or pretty far along in a game's lifespan, you start to be prepared for even the goofy shit, right? And
Definitely. Well, I would hope so.
yeah, you would hope so. And we're in an existence now in a reality where the internet is all around us, and at any given point, there's what, like Javits putting up videos, Desk showing you the goofy stuff that's possible in the game's engine, people like what's the fucking frame data person? I always forget her account.
Tool
Oh,
assisted, Dantarian.
Yeah, tool assisted. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's people like that that are doing this effort to, unrandom these games for you. So if somebody comes in and it's like, oh, they picked Fang, right? Like, who the fuck picks Fang in my local? You can be prepared. It's
Yeah.
up to you to study. You can be ready for the low tier heroes.
hmm
And
And
no, go ahead, finish your thought.
I was gonna say it's part of a longer thought. So if you want to finish up what you're saying.
Yeah, no, I was just gonna mention how at this point, if you want to complain and say that you need more games, it's almost a testament to the irresponsibility that some players have for what they can be prepared for. Like,
Mhm.
you have commentators that know a lot of this goofy shit, and a lot of times they're not necessarily top players. They're just might be really well learned. What's stopping a lot of people from doing that? I don't really think there's anything. Like, it's almost just being irresponsible. If you're genuinely trying to compete at a very high level and you feel that you got gimmicked out or randomed out, that is a testament to you being ill prepared.
yeah, I
It's-
think
yeah,
so.
It's very rare in this day and age that we see stuff in tournament that we've never seen before.
Yeah, like something that's completely undocumented, like legitimately saved that shit for national status.
Mhm.
When's the last time somebody's been like had their mind blown like that?
Yeah, and it's usually not high level tournament players these days. It's the people that it's like, well, I know I can't win, so my claim to fame is gonna be like, I'm gonna be the Fang tech guy and I'm gonna post all this shit to YouTube or Twitter.
Yeah. Like, I'm the guy that showboats.
Yeah.
I get known for all the goofy stuff I do in a tournament match.
And then the good Fang players use me and take my stuff and they win tournaments or
Yeah.
whatever. But
Yeah.
But it was interesting how you said people complain, like we were saying earlier, it's like people complain that 2 out of 3 is random and it doesn't show who the better player is. My counter argument to that is tournaments are not always about who the best player is hands down. It's about who the best player is under this set amount of conditions.
Yeah, at
Which
the
is
time.
going to be
basically.
one game. Yeah, at the time. Which it could be one game, it could be 2 out of 3, it could be 3 out of 5. And just because you're not good at 2 out of 3 doesn't mean you're not a good player on that day or even general. So it feels like people get super butthurt because they can't perform to the best of their ability under the tournament format as prescribed. Now, I'm not saying there should not be necessarily 3 out of 5 events or other things, but it's just like, this is, like we said, time, resources, there's all these factors that come into play. And, just because you can't perform at your highest level at 2 out of 3, maybe you shouldn't be so butthurt about it.
Yeah, you kind of agree that you're going to enter a tournament under the conditions, right? Like, you don't get to
Yeah.
set the parameters for what dictates a win. You go into a 2 out of 3 tournament, you prepare for 2 out of 3. Maybe that means picking a fucking hoopty character yourself to just, like, run people into the gauntlet of shit? Like, maybe you're actually playing the metagame, and we're going to use this word fucking correctly for once, because no one fucking does, and you're assuming that the current meta has people ill-prepared for Alex, right? In the case of Street Fighter V. Relatively underplayed character, I would think, compared to the rest of the cast. Potentially underpowered. But if you have the grime and you have the setup for it, you can definitely just ruin somebody's day with that character, right? If they're just completely ill-prepared,
Oh yeah.
then that means you came in prepared yourself to take advantage of these players.
Yeah.
That's definitely a strat. You are taking advantage of the fact that the format lends itself to these strategies.
Yeah, and I feel like people that are advocating 3 out of 5, they don't want to train for 2 out of 3. They're like especially in this day and age where I feel like the ideal way of playing is that you get a bunch of top people together and you grind as many games as possible, super long sets and stuff, but you're playing these super long sets, which is the complete opposite of what the tournament format is.
Yeah.
You should be trying to play 2 out of 3, like blind pick or whatever, and try to You know, you're playing all your buddies and try to be scumming them out with like these like gimmicky strategies, and then bring them to the tournament and maybe hope you don't play the guy that you practiced all these grimy strategies with.
Yeah,
But
hope you don't
maybe
run
that's
into the
way
one guy
to-
that's prepared for you.
Yeah, but maybe that's the way you got to be approaching these tournaments.
Yeah,
Well,
and
and
that
what sucks too is that, you know, you talk about like grimy strategies. There's a lot of reasons, people are getting quote unquote randomed out, especially in like Tekken 7 right now, because it seems like people are not training against stuff like this. It's well known that this stuff exists. It's all out there. It's all out there to be seen. Like a really good example is like, I've been watching Wednesday night fights every week. A lot of people can't break throws.
a lot of people still don't know what the fuck Eliza's doing.
Yeah, and these are things that this game has been out for 2 months already. If you don't know, that's on you. Like, I don't know. Hey, look, I don't know what Eliza's doing that much. I haven't played against the character that much or really trained against her. But I know enough to say that's on me. One more game wouldn't change that.
What if that... God damn it, BL. What if that one game was the one you needed to just completely understand all of Eliza's frame traps, punishable moves, and throw breaks? How realistic is that?
Yeah, I really feel like when people talk about 3 out of 5, they literally are like, it was a close set, but like I lost the last round to some shit I'd never seen before, or they got like a lucky jump in. It's like, lucky does not mean random. It means, hey, sometimes,
The dice doesn't go your way.
yeah, exactly. Sometimes you're in the right place at the right time. Luck is a part of life too, just like anything else. Like, people want this 100% skill, and you can't see my finger quotes, but there it is. 100% skill matchup, and it's like, that doesn't fucking work. That's not realistic. You know why? Because sometimes you manage to just, you hit this input 100 times, you get it 99, but you know what? This time, your finger went a little too slow and you flubbed the input you got, say like, you just got a jab instead of throwing a fireball. And then you got jumped in on and you died.
Yeah.
That's luck. I mean, that's bad luck.
And we've definitely seen that happen.
And we play these games because like the whole part is like we play with imperfect information, and
Yeah, we're not
our
robots.
our job is to like plug up the holes as much as possible. But like Paul said, it's never going to be 100%. And you know, part of that missing percentage is like, you know, you can understand a person's character, but you're never going to be. It's really rare where you're going to be 100% understand how your opponent is going to react in every single situation. You know, that's why we have all these, you know, option selects and shit. We're trying to minimize variance as much as possible, but it's never going to get to 0.
Yeah.
And sometimes part of that variance is, you know, the guy jumped in on you and you weren't ready for it and you died.
Yeah, part of that variant might be the person you're fighting is legitimately fucking crazy. Like, they just play of an incredibly wild style that you're not prepared for. And that brings me back to kind of the argument that Bloodhawk was bringing up earlier, that I think actually holds a lot of merit, is that people should train for the format that they're going to go into. Like, find that guy that fucking in your scene that plays wild as shit, right? Play him a 2 out of 3. Can you beat him consistently?
And here's the other question. You know, if people are like, well, I want to play 3 out of 5 in tournament because these exhibitions are going to be 3 out of 5 or something like that. I'm like, well, doesn't that just mean that you're inflexible?
Yeah, and that's a problem.
I mean, if you want to talk about quote unquote the best, shouldn't the best be somebody who's flexible and can play a bunch of different formats of a game? Like, best is just so fucking subjective. So,
Yeah,
I don't
the flexibility thing, like, we have fucking a shirt that is incredibly popular in our community that just has adapt as the fucking slogan that it teaches you, right?
Yeah.
Wouldn't you want to be that have that adaptability to meet the requirements of the format you have to play in? And I'm not saying that every tournament needs to be 2 out of 3. Like, that's not the case. Obviously, there exists a demand and there exists a place for unique formats, like stuff that is being run here in SoCal with Pasadena Regionals, or a lot of the events that Snake Tits is running for Marvel 3 have very unique rules. You know, win by X or up to this or first to this, right? You usually
Yeah,
won't.
wasn't that like first to 4 unless you got 3-0'd or something like that?
Yeah, first to 4 unless you got 3-0. So very unique format, right? Like you usually never see anything like that.
Definitely not.
Yeah. Is it something that's going to be commonplace for a large-scale tournament with uncapped entries, like something in the case of EVO? Probably
No.
not. Fucking inconceivable to even try to run something like that. But for a very specialized local event, because that event was just Marvel 3, right? That was the header. That's all you got. That's what you went to play. At that point, you prepare for the format. So if Snake Tits had told people it's going to be a 2 out of 3 thing, you're going to prepare for a 2 out of 3. If you know what the format is, which is this, first to 4 unless you win by 3, then you kind of know you want to prepare for being as oppressive as possible or being ready for a long slog, because that's likely what it's going to go to if it's not a blowout. It's going to be a first to 4.
Well, and you know what? That also brings up an interesting side point, which is what having a tournament standard being something like a 2 out of 3 does is it also opens up room for specialized events. Basically, smaller tournaments that want to focus on a certain game, you can do stuff like where, okay, the tournament's all 3 out of 5. It was like they did Guilty Madness in New York a couple years ago, where they're like, okay, the whole tournament is just Guilty Gear, but it's 3 out of 5. It's going to be a slightly higher entry fee. Like, that allows you to have specialized tournaments where it's like the community of just that game can kind of come together and celebrate the game. So I feel like, because I mean, it's not like people are going to go, well, okay, now it's never going to go the other way. Nobody's going to be like, all right, guys, we're going to celebrate Vampire Savior by having one game tournament. Like,
Yeah, right?
that's not going to fucking happen.
It's not going to fly.
Man, one game tournament, but we're gonna run like 4 tournaments in one day.
Yeah.
That'd be the only way.
Yeah, where it's like, hey guys, we're running Vampire Savior, CVS 2, Third Strike. What am I saying? CVS 2? Yeah, we're not running that.
I mean, you could run CVS 2 one game.
Yeah,
I think a lot of people would be pissed.
everyone would get tight. Where's Pat the Flip to confirm?
But I just feel like it's really close-minded. You know what? I feel like a lot of TOs did a lot by, and I mean even Capcom and NRS did a lot by just being like, okay, we'll do top 8, 3 out of 5.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like that was a big concession to the players, even though, it's like not like Capcom and NRS are running these tournaments. Their people aren't out there running the events.
Oh, to answer a question in the chat from Zen Lotus, Evo definitely had a year where they felt there were too many entries, so they changed the format midway to a single game. And I know for certain it was done for 3S. I believe it might have been the case for CVS2 as well, because, Jesus, there were a lot of fucking pissed off people that year. I want to say it was 2007. For sure it happened to 3S. And obviously that became a mess. And that might have been... Was that the Mike Wakefield year? The year of the legend?
Yes.
Yeah.
I believe it was.
Yeah. And there's the poster boy or poster girl for one-game tournaments in Makoto.
Boy.
Yeah. Like, go watch that. Go watch that and tell me that Mike Wakefield at that time was the best and brightest we could have sat up there at the top 8. Like, that top 8 was goofy as shit. And the biggest problem with that wasn't that it was one game, right? It was because it became one game. That was the fucking problem. If you had told me you're going to play in a 3S tournament, it's going to be one game only, you know what?
Like 2 months ahead of time?
Yeah, 2 months ahead of time, I would have completely prepared for it. My Remy would have been completely on point. Because no one knows how to fucking fight that character properly. But you tell me I have to fight a 2 out of 3, like, we're going to Alex. And in the case of Makoto Mike, I did an entire fucking episode of SDR on it, where I just kind of pointed out how fucking silly that entire match with Vaya looked. On both parts. Like, it was a fucking slopper knocker, if there ever was one. And how did they both get there? It's the magic of one game. Like, not to take away from either of them, because I think they're both talented players. It's just that that particular format lent itself to some really fucking ugly matches. Oh, I'm getting real mad at this fucking boss. God damn it.
Stop jumping in flames, dog.
Yeah.
Dude, he mixed me up.
Yeah, you're trying to anticipate too much.
I need to react.
Instead of reacting.
I'm trying to react. God damn
You got
it.
3 out of 5 here, man.
You know what you can't it's like, you know what you can't react to? Tournament format switches mid-game.
But I would agree with that. Well, and you know what? That was the thing is that, and that's kind of the problem. That actually brings up an entire different point, which is now the reason that people are complaining about wanting 3 out of 5 the whole way is because they're getting it in top 8. And so it sort of has become this, well, the company's conceded, and now it's like, well, that's not good enough, and in fact, we want this because now we don't have it for the whole event. It's like, that would actually make me just want to take it away. Not give it to you the whole thing. It's like, well, you gave me half the cookie, so you might as well give me the whole cookie. It's like, what? Or just give me the other half back, motherfucker.
But Bloodhawk, why does your game let you have 2 extra rounds?
Oh, that's a completely different topic now,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah.
The fact that everybody else now wants 3 out of 5 for their game. After now this whole conversation blew up in the last week or so.
Yeah, and like, how many games of Injustice do you think people are going to tolerate? Of, you know, legitimate downbacking, zoning, which is fine. I love watching it. But how much do you think you're going to captivate an audience? And let's be real, a lot of TOs, that's a concern for them. Like, they're putting on a presentation. If you're not getting stream views, that means a lot of fucking sponsors might not even give a shit about tossing money your way the next time, right?
Mhm.
How many people are you going to keep captive with, you know, early Injustice 3 out of 5 Deadshot mirrors? A couple? You're definitely going to have more people fucking complaining. Like, I can assure you that the second your video gets put up on YouTube, you have, you know, fucking spammers, campers, any fucking which way complaint of, like, traditional YouTube garbage. And if you have the alternative of, you know, shorter matches, or shorter sets, I should say, there's more often the times that you have stuff that's more exciting. Like, to quote our good friend Huber, you have more instances of people going, ooh. And, you know, streamers and, you know, fighting game companies, they want their player base to go, ooh. Because that's when they're excited. If they're not going, ooh, then people are not being entertained. And, like, what makes people go, ooh? Like, you know, sick comebacks with, like, you know, Ibuki mix-ups, Nikali fucking jabbing somebody in the V-trigger, the random super that works. All that stuff makes people go, ooh.
Rage Death Fist.
Yep.
I mean, just Death Fist in general really makes
Yeah.
people go, ooh, to be fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, but sometimes it's like the intonations are different.
Yeah.
Sometimes ooh, and then sometimes
it's like,
ooh.
ooh.
Sometimes it's literally somebody just going, shit! Oh, sorry about that.
Yeah.
That's
God
my ooh.
damn. Yeah. God damn.
I mean, even if you don't, I don't know how much the players should care about the presentation or the stream. Although, to be honest, in the long run, if they want this thing to grow more, they should. But just for the sake of argument, let's say that doesn't matter.
Okay.
I still think we've presented a fair number of reasons why 3 out of 5 is not some lot, like just logical extension of tournament formats. Like, hey, this is the purpose of a tournament, so we should play 3 out of 5. I think we've discussed that maybe people are not seeing tournaments for what they actually are. We've said that, you know, being flexible is part of being good enough to win a tournament. And, you know, we've also said that time should matter, especially when you're looking at just an event that's going to run a lot of games. Look, if you want to run just Street Fighter 5, okay, run it all 3 out of 5.
Make that shit 4 out of 7.
Yeah, dude, run that shit 4 out of 7. But I'm going to guarantee you that if you run just Street Fighter 5, people are not going to want to go to an all-weekend event for just Street Fighter 5.
Yeah, you're going to have a very dedicated base, I would think, but it's not going to be the same size of the tournament that you'd have normally.
Yeah, and I don't know how many people are going to travel. Like, I bet SoCal could run a really good, pretty big entrant Street Fighter 5 3 out of 5 event.
I can see it. I mean, it's practically every Wednesday night fights.
But I don't know how long it would take. So you might be able to do it in just SoCal one day. But, you know, like you said, Wednesday night fights gets about 50 people now. Yeah, Street Fighter 5. So you could do that.
Honestly, at this point, it'd be a kind of interesting experiment to see. Like,
just to see how long it would take?
Yeah. Just put it into practice.
Yeah. I mean, might as well.
Invite GYT, buy him a pizza. He loves that shit. Just fucking have him take the stats.
Well, and that's the other thing that is sort of frustrating, is that the players who are always calling for this aren't willing to do it themselves.
Yeah.
And they're not willing to put their money where their mouth is.
Yeah, somebody just run an event, rent the fucking, insurance office for a day. We've done that before. Just see what happens.
I agree that in a lot of cases it's not fair that a lot of players can't be TOs. You don't have the means to run your own events. That does suck. I don't disagree with that. But because of that, you also don't have the ability to control how the events run.
Actually, there's a quick aside I want to take because I see that Mikey's in the chat. And I also wanted to thank Zen Lotus, Nixon-esque, and our good buddy BL for following. Mikey, you're old and you can probably help me out here. Who the fuck was behind the orchestration of a lot of the old Cal Poly Pomona tournaments? Because I started thinking about it today when considering, modern TOs and how regions just have particular people that are known for running events, like Big E in the Northeast, Via in SoCal, or at this point the Hado in the Midwest, and Jabali in whatever Florida is counted as. I couldn't think, or I couldn't remember, or I don't even think I ever knew who the fuck was the person that was behind a lot of the stuff that was being done in SoCal that was a larger scale event. Because Cal Poly obviously catered to a ton of different games. It didn't really have a particular specific thing that they ran, but I never knew who the fuck the catalyst was to bring that all together to say, hey, this week we're going to have these 3 tournaments on arcades at a college. There's a gigantic gap in my memory that I wish could be filled up. So if you happen to know, Mikey, please help me out. I guess Via hates 3 out of 5. That's good to know. Yeah, alright, so if it was only a few events, do you remember who was the guy that was behind them? Or the persons behind them? Was it just the college? Well, dicks. Well, I guess we'll never know, boys.
was the I can't remember. What was the Street Fighter V E-League format? Was it also 3 out of 5?
I believe so.
But it was like the finals were weird. I remember Phenom had that. There was that article about Phenom complaining about the finals against Punk because he had beaten Punk earlier, but instead of having to reset the bracket, Phenom just had like a 1 or 2 game lead on Punk going into grand finals. But it was still like a first to 4. It was like a really weird thing. But at the same time, if he knew about it ahead of time, you can't complain.
Right. Like if they sprung it on you, then yeah, you have a legitimate
you can complain about it. But,
yeah.
But another thing, it's like another thing about weird formats. Like if you know it ahead of time, you don't really have a leg to stand on afterwards, saying, "Well, if it was traditional, he would have beat me." That's not what the event was, my man.
You signed up for this shit.
Yeah.
It's like, hey man, you're gonna have to play this tournament with, weights strapped to your balls or your arms tied to a steering wheel the entire time. You kind of know what you signed up for. Maybe work out your balls a bit more. You can deal with the weight.
Yeah, definitely will lose that tournament.
You gotta work on that upper ball strength.
Yeah, that's definitely a tournament I would want 1 game for. Need to get that. I don't have any stamina. That ball stamina.
They call me Testicles.
Hello.
What's up, Sammy? Thank you for joining us.
How's it going? Are we still talking shit on 3 out of 5?
Oh yeah. So, Sammy, you're young. You're a child compared to the
Comparative to the people I have.
You have a 2 in the beginning of your age.
I
Yeah.
still have a 2 at the beginning of my. Am I the only one here who still has a 2?
Yeah, I'm turning 32 in like an hour. Maybe that counts.
Oh, that's right.
Welcome to my impromptu birthday stream.
Alright, what's up? I'm a baby.
Yeah, you're a baby. What is your take on 3 out of 5?
Might have a grander scope than others because I've always wanted to be more than just a player. So I've done a little bit of TOing and I've done a lot of like commentary. So as a commentator, fuck that. Because that as much as it means more work for us, it also means a lot more work for us. Like in a good and a bad way.
Oh yeah, 3 out of 5 all the way. Commentating fucking jobbers sucks.
Yeah, like getting through some 2-0s on the first and second rounds. Yeah, I'm down for that, honestly. Just because I want to get through it and get to the good stuff. It's inevitable. It's inevitable to the scene, and that's not like a bad thing at all. It's just what it is. How many times have I gone 0-2 in a tournament like for freaking Tekken now? Like 3 or 4 times, just because I'm new to the game. And it's gonna happen to every game and every set of people. But it's just beyond the argument of time, which is a pretty damn good one, but it's the one that I think gets used too often. I think for 3 out of 5 in terms of specifically for the players, I think that it is not great because it stagnates the play a little bit, because what it does is it makes it so that certain play styles become slightly better than others, and so it makes the tier lists a little bit more, how do I say, concrete. That's not a good word for it.
The goofy characters can't shine.
Yeah, the characters, there isn't enough for like a different set of playstyles. Like characters like let's put example Leo. Leo won Arc Revo last year, and one of the things that helped him win was that's a best of 1 tournament. In a best of 5 tournament, I don't think that would have happened, and that does not make Tomo a worse player than any one of the dudes that he beat. It's just the nature of that character and the nature of how that game goes. So I think that there's that argument to be had that is never talked about. That it hurts the game because it makes it so that characters that don't have to rely on, like, let's say a volatile style excel a little bit more. So I think it's bad for like players and streamers because that means you get to see more of the same character end up rising in tiers. The tier list matters more in 3 out of 5. Is what I'm trying to say.
I mean, and you bring up a good point. You know, it's bad for the viewers. It's bad for the streamers. And it's 2007. Who matters the most nowadays? Is it the player? Is it the streamer? Is it the TO? Is it the viewer at home? Who matters the most, or is it all equal still?
I think more than ever, I feel like we've gotten closer to, like, because I felt like maybe 5 years ago I would say players 100%, but it's getting a lot better than it used to be.
I mean, back then it was only the player, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
There was no other. I mean, I guess for the majors it was the TOs trying to try and make some money or make break even, but
it was like the TOs for that Sunday and that's it.
yeah. But nowadays there's FTOs, we have players, but now we have streamers, commentators, stream watchers, sponsors. We have so many more people that have a stake, not necessarily a monetary stake.
No, yeah, just a
But-
stake,
Yeah.
Yeah, and the second thing I want to bring up in terms of an argument against 3 out of 5 is that if you really look at who's asking for 3 out of 5, it's mainly just sponsored players, or aka top players.
Mhm.
And that's largely because they get to be on stream more. Because if you're going to pull games as a stream runner, normally you're going to pull games from people who are top players or very likely sponsored players. That means that those players are going to be more on stream more. That means those sponsors are going to be seen more. So obviously it's better for them to be on stream more often with a 3 out of 5. It's better for them and their livelihood. It makes sense for them to try to fight for that. However, what it does to the scene is that it makes it so that a lot of other players don't get that shine. Lesser known players, less blow-ups on stream.
That's actually a really interesting point that you bring up, taking into consideration sponsored players, how they may or may not have to perform depending on their contract, right? Like, who knows if there's an expectation or not? But if there is that expectation, what's it look like if you're a top sponsored player and you're getting goofed up by a Gigas because you don't know what the fuck that character does?
Yeah, 3 out of 5. It's I think I forgot who put up the stats, but it was like 88% of the time.
Yeah, we talked about it before.
Yeah, okay. So I mean, that gives them another 12% chance of winning after going down 0-2. So that's something that they want. That gives them another chance to win.
Yeah, that hi by the way. That connects with something.
Thanks for joining us, Austin.
Yeah, no problem. What's someone brought up once before. 3 out of 5 lets you make more mistakes and it lets you get away with it because you have more chances. So it allows you to play worse and be rewarded for it, basically.
I also kind of think Americans want it, and because Americans normally practice in 2 out of 3, 3 out of 5, while Japanese practice mainly in arcades, aka best of ones. But
It depends.
That's
Yeah, I might be
actually
thinking
that's actually an interesting detail there, because we can definitely make the case that the tournament format in Japan for Street Fighter for the longest time was one game, right? Because that was very arcade ready. You just sit down, you lose, you play the next guy. But with Street Fighter V not having an official arcade release, I would honestly argue at this point the format's actually changed. You see a lot of events that run 2 out of 3 or even 3 out of 5 far more than we ever saw it before, just because the game doesn't lend itself to that kind of format. There isn't the expectation that's like, this is the arcade tournament. Like, you sit down, you might get goofed up by a Fang or an Alex or something, you go on with your life, right? Now it's just kind of the console format where everyone sits down, we're playing a 2 out of 3, then we move on with our lives.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I mean, I think there's a little bit of that. It's I think those are the couple of the biggest things though, is the exposure and the what's it called? The exposure and the game style thing, I think, are two really big ones. Because like, if you really look at the people who like, I was looking at this, I think a couple months ago, because you know we have this conversation every month.
Yeah, every time somebody gets goofed up and they want to complain about it.
Right, they start asking for 3 out of 5. Whenever that happened last, I was like maybe 2 or 3 months ago. I just realized that like all the people who are asking for invitationals and shit are the same people who are asking for 3 out of 5s. They don't want, they don't want to deal. They want to deal with all the rigmarole of the early part of the tournament and
all the landmines. They just don't want to deal with the landmines.
They want to be floated.
Yeah.
Essentially, yeah, because it secures them a better spot. It's better for their sponsors. It's better for them.
That's actually the dealing with landmines thing is something we've kind of talked about before, where there's a lot of people that talk about I'll just go to X local and own it up, and then they go there and they get sexed up.
Yeah.
Like it's
constant people who show up to Wednesday night fights from other regions show up and they're like, oh yeah, we're gonna beat everybody.
Yeah.
And just get beat by some random person they've never heard of. Happens frequently.
Yeah, it's like you're losing to somebody that just has like a fucking joke name that shows up that week. It's like, yeah, I'm here, I'm ready to fucking fight Chris T. I'm ready to, deal with Nick Tonella this week, but I goofed up by like, Donald Trump's ass hat. Like, I wasn't ready for him.
Do you remember fucking Super Arcade days? You remember IGT, the Ghost Rider player?
Dude, I will fucking. So I know fucking. I know I Got You Twice from way back because he went to my fucking local arcade for Marvel 2, right?
Yeah.
I will put money on any Marvel 2, Marvel 3 player that comes to SoCal that he will beat them in a 2 out of 3.
Yeah, because no one knew how to play against
Oh yeah, good fucking luck. You're like the one guy that kept playing Ghost Rider with a fucking decent shell behind it. Yeah, good luck, man.
Yeah, so whenever he used to come out to
God, what was his fucking theme? It was like Ghost Rider Scroll Doom?
It was something like that, yeah. It was something insane.
What's funny is even to the end of Marvel 3, Ringe would always talk about like random people showing up in SoCal and still just getting bopped.
Yeah.
Tournaments. And that's a normal 3 out of 5 Marvel 3 because people just didn't know the game as well as they thought they did.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's such a big actual reason for why this is an argument now. I feel like that's really what's behind it, is like people think they're getting random when they lose to something they don't know.
Yeah. Or they feel like, oh, I got hit once, game over, I should have another game because it ends too fast.
Yeah.
They don't want to look at their mistakes and be like, you know what, I messed up here. Here's how I can improve. It's like, oh no, I messed up. Yes, it's
I
messed up.
Dog.
There's nothing I could do. 3 out of 5. 3 out of 5. Also,
So, I mean-
IGT used to play Ghost Rider, Grohl, Doom.
Yeah. And that's a volatile fucking team.
Yeah, that is a team. If you don't know what they do,
Yeah.
they will just
That-
run over you.
That's why I will bet on I Got You Twice, because you have to get past the paywall of Ghost Rider. And by paywall, I mean you need to pay the time to actually sit down and know what goofy shit that character can do.
It's like Baba Ganoush,
Oh yeah, like
Hulk, Firebrand, whatever.
yeah, like how annoying was that?
Yeah, back when no one knew what to do against fucking Firebrand.
Yeah, like how many times have we rooted for I Heart Justice?
Oh, I know.
Oh, yeah.
And he plays the hooptiest fucking team.
God, what's that team? It's Phoenix Wright.
He has other characters.
Phoenix Wright and Sentinel.
That's not fair.
That sounds accurately bad.
I lost to him at Evo, but I can't remember.
Good job.
Look, dude,
Or fucking
put that in.
fucking Paradigm was getting really good. Everybody used to comment, just like, I don't know how to deal with this fucking Hagar bullshit. This is whack. Fuck this character.
Oh, and I think Hagar was like the least of your worries a lot of times.
Yeah, no, really. Or who else? Mini Boss. When Mini Boss was starting to blow up in what was it, 2015?
Yeah, but his team was good.
2014? No, his team was good, but nobody knew how to deal with him because he was playing an underrepresented team. Still.
Yeah, because he would start like Doctor Strange.
Yeah, he would start Strange, and nobody knew how to deal with that.
Yeah, Point
Yeah,
Strange was definitely a puzzle people took a while to solve.
But the only reason that Marvel 3 even remotely could have made sense with 3 out of 5 is there's no rounds, but I mean, Marvel 2 never had 3 out of 5.
Marvel 2 also ended up having stupid-ass fucking formats because people demanded having money matches that ran past the 10-game mark.
First to 7, Doc.
No, it wasn't even fucking first to 7 for this shit.
No, you gotta win by 7.
Oh my god.
First to 15, bro.
Yeah, first to
First to
15.
15 on a full moon, but on the crescent moon, it's first to 16 and a half. That is, on the half game, it's the first characters you lose.
You know, maybe
And,
it's
and you
all the
better bring
Marvel
your
player.
eclipse glasses, otherwise you auto lose.
Yeah, you just get blinded. Like,
Oh, there you go. Eclipse matches. Both players have to play with eclipse glasses on.
like, look, man, I will meet you in a fortnight. You better bring the bull testicles you keep of your finest ox.
Yeah,
And
dude,
I will
like,
bring my luckiest rabbit foot that I stole from an Esquilax.
see, there were people who would never do anything less than a first to 7 because it wouldn't be fair, or you wouldn't be able to test their skill right. You just wouldn't know. First to 30
That's honestly what it is. Like in the end, like I came down here. Do you know why I had all those arguments? Because I actually sat down and I was like, all right, what constitutes a game that deserves 3 out of 5? And games that constitute deserving 3 out of 5 are games that start out with very high damage and don't need many resources to start it. What are games that do that right now? What games do that right now? Fucking Tekken's the only one, and Tekken has the round system for that. So let's,
Yeah.
you know, they fixed that. They went around that by doing 3 out of 5 rounds.
They used to do 3 rounds, 3 out of 5, right?
Yeah, and we're not doing that anymore because that sounds crazy.
We're not heathens.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, Paul's the oldest guy Tekken-wise, because it might be before my time. Was there ever a time they did 2 out of 3 rounds in Tag 1, Paul?
Yeah, I do want to say they did do 2 out of 3 rounds at some point, but
Actually,
I don't think it lasted. all
Yeah, I
that
honestly,
long.
I want to say the only time that happened was the Tekken Nationals.
Like, there definitely were tournaments that used it, but I don't feel like it was a very super widespread thing.
Yeah, actually, Mikey
And-
would know. Mikey's fucking old as shit.
And honestly, when Tekken 5 first came out, that was 2 out of 3 rounds standard too, until people realized that the Koreans were playing with a higher life value system than we were.
They're playing at like plus 10% or
Yeah,
plus
Yeah.
120%.
Yeah, it was 120%.
Yeah, we used to have all these other rules too for other games.
And then so US moved to 3 out of 5 for rounds.
Yeah,
So-
I just think that thinking about how you get damage is the best way of thinking about how you should approach the 2 out of 3, 3 out of 5. That being said, you know, if the middle ground is we get more top 8s that fucking go full 3 out of 5, I'm not going to be completely against that, but I don't like it. I guess people just shut the fuck up, maybe.
So, also one of the only other times that I think 3 out of 5 is not really acceptable is Smash, because you counter pick stages.
And that's a whole different thing, honestly,
Yeah.
because
That's-
they
that's a
let
different
people pick Smash, like they let people pick stage in Smash.
Yeah, because it matters.
Yeah. Well, I mean, stages definitely matter in Tekken, but they don't let you pick stage. It's always
Yeah.
random.
Unless you're peeling and people forget to take the round from you.
Or it's Asia. I think they still pick stages in Korean and Japanese tournaments that are not Tekken World Tour.
Yeah.
Their Tekken World Tour, they cannot.
Mhm.
So yeah, I don't think any game other than maybe Marvel 3, I guess, until we consider Marvel Infinite, really needs to be 3 out of 5 in pools. Not Injustice.
I don't even
100%.
think it needs to be 3 out of 5. I think
It doesn't look like it. It looks like it should be a 2 out of 3 from what I've seen in footage.
unless there's unblockables on income, maybe.
Yeah, dude.
I'm kind of concerned that there might be.
Yeah, I am too.
Because there was one thing I saw immediately in one of the videos that Max put up recently, where somebody does X's Buster into overhead follow-up, and immediately tags into Zero doing low.
Combo has said that those don't work.
So simultaneous. So
Yeah,
it's not an
simultaneously
unblockable,
block.
it becomes a hard to blockable then.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, so they're guilty gear.
Yeah.
People
no,
are still gonna get
actually,
80% of the time.
No, that's going to be a gigantic question as to whether or not how fuckered that is, because there's 2 instances of games protecting you from that, where things can't exactly hit on the same frame. There's gear where you're allowed to shift between low guard and high guard as long as you get the 1 frame timing, right? So you have shit like the Zato unblockable, the most generic example we can provide because it's still in Exerd. The other alternative is what Skullgirls did, where there is a specific number of frames where if 2 moves that would cause an unblockable situation hit, being an overhead and a low at the exact same frame, will not actually cause the guard break. You have to actually allow the player a X amount of frames for them to actually make the decision to switch between blocks for that unblockable, or quote-unquote unblockable, to actually function the way you want it to. So it's going to be real interesting to see which of those 2 routes Infinite went with.
Yeah, it'll be.
Could be neither.
If they went with some other complete route, I'm going to be fucking really impressed.
Yeah, me too.
Because I can't even fucking think what they would do.
I want to say MKX had a way that stopped unblockables like that, but I can't remember exactly. Because I know Cassie Cage used to have pseudo unblockable with the high-low shit. Yeah, 2 out of 3. Especially because it makes winners finals, losers finals, and grand finals mean a little bit more because you get there and you get your 3 out of 5.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, playing finals is just like playing the rest of the tournament.
That being said, you have freaking events like CPT, where you're gonna have like a 32-man bracket. If it goes all 3 out of 5, fucking go for it. I don't care, because that's specifically for that game. That is only that game. They're gonna have it's basically what ends up being the best of the best. In that case, you can make an argument for a 3 out of 5 full tournament. But I think outside of that, it's really hard to argue for that sort of thing. And even then, if it was up to me, if I ran the tournament, I'd still make it 2 out of 3.
But if Daigo goes 0-2, something has to be wrong,
Oh
Sammy.
no!
Look,
If-
I joined. I gotta go. My dad's calling me.
Look, man, if Daigo's not winning, the game is officially random.
So, just to kind of go back to it, and Mikey did bring it up. He's saying that basically we didn't start doing 3 out of 5 until Tekken 4. Kind of going back and looking through YouTube, it looked like the Koreans were still playing 3 out of 5 in Tag 1, but for the most part, Evo and US tournaments were playing 2 out of 3 in Tag 1. So there you go. Because I did find in Evo 2003, like Kim Bong-min versus Ryan Hart thing where they're playing 3 out of 5, but everything else I'm finding from that time period is all 2 out of 3. And that's Tag 1.
That was a
That
game.
game, you take a lot of damage. It does a lot. Everything does a lot of blood.
Yeah, Tag 1 is kind of similar to how Tag 2 ended up being. You took a lot of damage from a lot of shit, so a lot of the time people ended up turtling it up all day.
Yeah.
So and really letting the timer run out.
That's why St. Louis always had the saying it's a time match. Because it was literally like you could just hit somebody once and run away forever if you really wanted to, if you were dedicated to it. Backdash cancel crouch jab was ridiculous.
Man, I remember watching Tag 1 at EVO being super excited and then kind of going back to it, I got tired.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like, I don't mean
That's
like I
like
got tired got
CVS2.
watching, like I got stress tired. Like I pictured
Yeah, it's like
myself
watching
playing.
CVS2 matches.
Yeah. Like you picture yourself playing those matches and you're like, I would have gassed like so fucking fast, like so long ago. Like this.
Oh yeah, that's another thing. The endurance
Yeah.
for all that.
It's like even Bronson was saying it when he streamed on Friday night. He was talking about how it's like, you know what, we love Tag 1, but Tag 1 is like a huge turtle fest and shit is ridiculous. And he's like, honestly, like I don't know if that game really holds up. So
Yeah, that's a huge question. Like, there's room for these legacy games until you, or I should say, there's love for these legacy games until you run into somebody that legitimately remembers how to play them.
Yeah.
It's like, yo, man, I fucking love CVS2, man. This game's my shit. Fucking, you know, come see my king and all that. Runs into one guy that knows how to consistently do RC, cross up electricity, and you're like, you know what? This game fucking sucks. Like, that's how I know you really love the game. Where if you just get hit by that kind of hoopty garbage, that like, you stay loving it.
oh, McDonald's?
Yeah, you just
You still love this game? I love it.
I fucking love it. Give me more. Like,
May I have another, sir?
forced to take guaranteed chip on an invulnerable meaty? Hell yeah, baby!
I'm stressing already.
You're telling me I don't have an RCable command throw to fuck with this?
I'm already stressed out, and I'm not even watching footage or anything. You're just saying it. I'm
Yeah.
Just like, you know, I love that game too. That's still my favorite Capcom game of all time. And fucking, I think about that Blanca, and I'm just like, I'm stressed out, just being like,
I feel like that's really where your hate from hate of Blanca really.
100%. That's where it came from. Fuck Blanca.
I'm pretty sure that's where most people's hate of Blanca
Yeah.
actually came from.
Oh no, he
I
did
like
down
Blanca.
fierce. It solved the problem that wasn't there.
I like Blanca, but I never played CVS2, so.
Let that guy be good for one game.
Yeah. And you
That'll
just
show
go-
that monster boy.
You're
Never
gonna-
again. No thank you.
I mean, so far, never again has been true.
Good. It's fucking it's never again. So far, it doesn't even end up in the fucking game.
Dude, Watermelon Super is like one of the best.
Don't give a shit about Watermelon
Care
Super.
about Watermelon Super.
What the fuck?
Watermelon Super was whack as hell.
Dude, dog,
Water-
he brings down watermelon.
I don't give a fuck.
You don't love watermelons? They're nature's
No, I love
candy.
water-
Sammy's on record to say he hates watermelons. Watermelon hater.
What the fuck,
Okay,
dude?
fine. If it means that I get rid of this fucking Blanca character for the rest of my life, I'm down to hate Watermelon. Fuck
I
that.
don't think I can fuck with you anymore, Sammy.
I don't give fuck y'all. I fucking fuck that character.
Somebody help me
I
move
will
Sammy from
die
the call.
on this hill.
Damn, just Sammy's picked the watermelon hill to die on.
Yeah. Didn't even die on the corn dog fight. Just decided to pick on the fucking watermelon one.
Corn dogs, I'm not. Corn dogs or whatever. I'm
He had watermelon Super in CVS too, right?
No.
No.
So
No,
You
he was
just
only in
Alpha
Alpha 3.
Mhm,
Only in Alpha 3.
specifically Alpha 3. In CVS2, he has Lightning Direct and Ground Shave Rolling and Shout of the Earth, which is the fucking vertical electricity super you never see outside of like a specific custom combo.
I'm trying to remember what it looked like. In
It's so
CVS.
okay. So you don't even have to remember what it looks like.
Wimpose.
Yeah, it's just his Wimpose.
That's right.
It's just
That's
his fucking
right, it
Wimpose,
is.
and it's like electricity around him. It's like Capcom, you sly dogs.
Man, late 90s, early 2000s Capcom were masters of reusing sprites.
Oh, dude, they were fucking craftsmen.
We call it repurposing, right?
Yeah.
From homies. So,
Hey man, we were talking about this a couple days ago. They were able to like shit out like 2 or 3 fun games in a row just because they're just like, yeah, just fucking take that sprite and use it for this other thing.
They
and
did
then
that.
put
They
this
did that
thing
for
in-
2 decades. Alright, they've been doing that since the beginning.
I'm just talking about fucking fighting games specifically. Like, there's just that point where they were just like, yeah, fucking churn all these games out. These are all fine, whatever. Because I want to do this thing for this game and this thing for this game. Hey, let's put fucking sex grooves in this game. Whatever, fuck it.
Did you say sex grooves?
Sex grooves. CVS 2 was better than I thought it was. Goddamn. My early 2000s were wild.
Sex Ferguson.
Man. This is what you guys did at Battle of the Bay? God damn. I missed out.
I'm trying to nut.
It's,
The
got no sex
end
grooves.
groove. I died to touching the fucking claw again.
I
Hold
mean,
on.
when you activate N Groove, we did used to call it busting a dot. So
Yeah, I mean, you know what? I'm gonna actually bring something up that I've been meaning to do, but Sammy was a fucking whack ass and did stuff on Sunday. Let me find exactly one CVS 2 match I wanted to bring up.
Oh, that's right.
gross.
What? Come on, man. It's my birthday, man. Let me have this.
It's not your birthday. Don't lie to me.
It is in your state.
Yeah, but you're not in my state.
Well, whose
Yeah.
problem is that?
Yours.
Fuck. That's how they got me. Hold on.
Right.
Let me switch this. Add web page. Boom. Okay. So you guys are going to be behind. Obviously, just because... Oh, wait, no. We can do this
It's
the
not
smart
that
way.
bad.
No. We can
Yeah.
do... I forgot it. We can do this the smart
Just
way.
share it.
Yeah, we could do the just
Same way we
what?
watch DuckTales.
Yeah, no, yeah. The together tube. We're a family now, boys.
I don't know what that means.
Shut the fuck up, Paul.
You don't know what
Oh.
fan
I never had one of those.
Oh.
This got really sad.
Man, this is an hour and a half of Kim Bong Min playing Ryan Hart in 2003. That's wild.
Yo, link that up later.
That's wild.
I'll put it in our chat.
There we go. All right.
Live and let die.
And by the way, while you're holy shit, ogres were fucked up. Just saying.
Uh-huh.
All right. So we'll get this. Let me.
My name is Easy Caddy. That's a good fucking name.
What did I get as a name? Oh, I'm still gifted Tambor. All right. Hold on. I gotta switch.
Hello, guys. I am Easy Caddy.
Oh fuck no! I'm ultra getting. Damn it! Easy Caddy is you.
Oh, I'm still Diligent Banjo.
Dog, y'all got numbers. I'm straight up just Easy Caddy.
Square mouse pad.
Everywhere I go, it's just the lower. It's just.
I'm
low
hard
level playing.
cyclamen.
Everywhere I go, I
Jeez.
see the same hose.
Okay. Thanks, Nate.
No problem.
Rest in peace, Nate Doug.
Is there no way to like big this?
Yo,
Like this website's not being.
enlarge is not a word anymore. Is there any way to big this?
How can I big this?
Guys, I need to big this.
Like this
You can
works.
crop it. You can crop it and then just make it bigger.
What the fuck? What kind of witchcraft? Hold on.
Or just zoom in.
Give me the hack, Steve.
Enhance. Enhance. We're gonna CSI this shit.
I'm not on fucking CSI.
Computer enhance. Magnify.
Where's
Just
the?
need the green light.
Shut the fuck up. I will boot you straight in the outer space. There's got to be a way to big this, right? Would you say crop
Oh my
it?
god, can you stop?
Hold
Just
on.
play it. Nobody cares.
All right,
Nobody
fine.
cares. Your layout sucks anyway.
What are you kidding me? You fucking hater. All right, hold on. Hold on.
You covered up the Dorito smiley.
Vintage 2010 stream layout. Here we go.
This is
I
authentic,
also-
dude. This is from my hero Sarvitz. Did this freeze up?
There's not enough weed.
Look, just hit
There's
the
not a-
feedback and support button and be like, "Is there any way to big this?"
Is there any way to big this? That's too good.
Oh wait, I'm doing this the wrong way. Hold on. Bear with me a moment. I know how to big this now. There's a screen capture right there. There we go. Hold on.
Jeez.
Shut the fuck up. I don't need you fucking chiming in, my dude. Let's see if I did this right.
I have a set of notes somewhere. I forgot where I put. Jesus Christ. Whatever.
In the future, we may know what we're doing.
Please don't lie to the people.
I have a list of all the dumb bullshit I wanted to say on commentary, and I forgot where I put it.
This would probably be a lot easier if I had a second monitor.
Oh yeah,
Sorry.
you'll be happy to know that I got Japanese taunt off on the Geico thing yesterday.
Some commentators make notes about players, characters, and stuff. Sammy makes notes about stupid shit to say on commentary.
You're not wrong.
Oh, there we go.
Is it showing up on stream? Because it's all kind
No.
of... Are you serious?
Yeah,
I'm irate.
I see a black dot. I see a black box.
Yeah, it's a big black box.
It's supposed to be screen capturing.
But you feel fucking stupid.
I do, actually.
Something. You captured something. You might want to release it.
All right, it's gone now.
This is definitely a catch and release operation.
Back into the wilds it goes. I'm just gonna put up Ryu to keep me motivated while I figure this out. All right, hold on. I got this.
The Mecha MacGyver stream is not the classy affair we thought it would be.
You're not wrong, man.
Nobody
Look, I'm an IT.
I knew what I bought into.
Look, I'm an IT professional. I'm googling this as fast as possible.
Jesus.
It's still showing up as a black thing. Why is it doing that?
That's racist. Racially insensitive.
Why does it not show up properly?
What is this? Oh.
It captures the sound, so it should work.
You really have to big it? Can't you just zoom in?
Stop it! Don't give him more power.
Like, zoom in.
Look, fine. I won't big it.
Just zoom in.
Just leave it. Yeah, just let it go, man.
What's wrong with it? Are you just not happy with the 4x3?
Look, man.
You wanted to full screen it.
Yeah, I wanted to full screen it,
Oh.
but look, fine, whatever. I'll do this. We'll together tube it, and then I'll just copy the link in the thing.
Bigot.
Just zoom in. I don't know why you won't just zoom in.
Some of us are trying to live our lives in a Zoom. Boom.
I gotta go.
Mr. Big Shot, Backstreet streaming over here.
What?
Somebody's gotta do it.
Yeah. There you go.
We're not getting any younger here, man.
Look,
This
it's
is
not
fine.
it's not actually playing now, which is fucking amazing.
By the time you get this to work, it actually will be your birthday.
It's only 20 minutes away.
It won't work until it's your birthday.
All right, you figure this out. I'll be right back.
Wait, this was working like a second ago, right?
Yeah?
Why did it stop? I hate everything.
What are you
Probably
trying to do?
because you tried to do something to it.
I scared it.
Why don't you refresh the page?
I did, and it goofed up more. Actually, hold on. I have an idea.
Oh no.
Oh man, this is a Bucktooth match too.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to point it out, because Bucktooth was one of the more aggressive players. Let's see. Actually, I'm curious if I do this. Let's see. Whoa. It's playing second by second now somehow. That's
What?
actually really impressive.
On
I didn't even know what it means.
Like every time I hit play, it only budges for 1 second.
No, hit play on the fucking Together Tube thing. Not on the YouTube video.
Below the video.
I did.
Okay.
You're not clicking on the video, are you?
No, I'm clicking on the button. That's wacky. This can only end in tears.
Try clicking
Hey,
on the
it's
video.
gone. All right. Good stream, everybody.
We did it, boys. Actually, I'm a fucking idiot.
I mean,
No, yeah, I mean, shut up. But look, here's the easy way.
Live and let die.
you have Discord video sharing?
I didn't pay for
I
Nitro.
don't even have video calls in Discord. I don't.
Look, man. Are you like
Oh
the-
wait,
All right, so here's what we're gonna do.
we're just gonna watch the YouTube video.
No. I'm just gonna time it so like we play the same thing, from like the Together Tube with our audience. Like, yeah, you guys have the Together Tube working, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just gonna set it to, what's the one on the video set to? 6 seconds. So we'll just be slightly off. It's perfectly acceptable. Boom, that's ours. That's theirs. Okay. So this particular match, like Bucktooth known for like he's like the epitome of like wacky characters, right? Or he's a specialist, if we want to use that term. Hibiki not actually that bad of a character, but this particular instance stuck out to me because Daigo is playing some of the more cheaper things that you could play in this game.
The more cheaper.
Yeah.
More cheaperist.
Yeah, did you see what Bucktooth had to do there to escape that chip situation? He had to wake up RC Run Slash. Otherwise, he was just donezo on the chip. That was definitely an RC Rekka. This is about high-level play as you can get. RC Rekka to Blanca down Fierce because that thing's active for, tomorrow. And this is a pretty aggressive CVS2 game, I think y'all agree. Like, this isn't the more traditional CVS2 we're kind of picturing in our heads.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is people going kind of nuts to butts. Bucktooth, good confirm there. Let's see.
And then Claw shows up.
No, even then, look at this claw. This is Daigo claw. This is, Max Daigo. He gets Shinade there. He lost his claw. Lost his mask. This is Daigo trying to get in that ass. He's going for a guard break string.
Nowhere
No.
close.
Yeah. Fucking alpha counters are like alpha roll or reversal rolls at a block stun. Chunking your guard is one of those things that always stress me out.
Bring back guard meter.
Not always.
Yeah. Maybe.
Yeah, bring back guard meter maybe. All right, here we go. Bibson. Here's a character.
He's a little good in this game.
Yeah.
A
Okay.
little.
Okay.
Yeah, a little.
Yeah.
He's okay.
RC Cycle Crusher is a legitimate threat. Every character gets a very generic punish in doing just like your far fierce or your far roundhouse as soon as he crosses you up, right? But the hookup for him hitting you is big. Now again, I want to point out this is an incredibly aggressive match between both players. RC command throw, that's a thing. Campbell gets a groove popped. It happens to the best of us. With Psycho to build meter. Daigo could be turtling right now. He's not.
That's not the Daigo style, dude.
That's yeah. He's he's our hero of all time, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. That's the kind of punish most characters get. Here's Campbell. Look at this lockdown.
All the sweeps.
Later, Campbell. Okay, so let's take a look at something right now. We went nearly 4 minutes for one game of CVS2, and it was incredibly aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the only way it could have been more aggressive is if both players were just holding forward, which seems to be the case this round, actually. Not the head bite!
Delicious.
Man, Buck Sabiki was just so much fucking fun to watch.
Look, you're talking about a fun Hibiki to watch, and you don't mention one Mr. Jathan Snyder?
No, I like Buck too. Buck too was one of my favorite US players.
Bro, let me tell you about the legend of Viscance Hibiki. So he
I
played...
actually have never seen Mitsubishi, so I have no clue.
Okay, so Jay, good old Viscant, played K-Groove. Do you want to know why?
This is the easiest groove to play that's still top tier.
Oh my god, you fucking naive child. He played K-Groove because it was the groove that gave you the free wake-up super.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Like, yo man, do I want to get my ass beat and have fucking boosted damage up the ass and the free wake-up super?
No, I feel like
Hell yeah.
Sign-
he was
sign
playing
me
Street
and my
Fighter 4
family up.
before it came out.
Also, he couldn't RC because Jay's execution's terrible.
Yeah.
So K-Groove is everything he ever wanted.
Hey, me too. Also, it gave me fucking short hop Tiger Raid.
Also, can we talk about the bullshit that just happened right there with RC fucking Barcelona attack?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Let me just get out.
That's what it do.
God, fuck this character.
Oh shit, Bucktooth.
Vega.
Aw.
Vega. Yeah, Claw was so good.
Stuff
How come
happened.
in, like,
Okay,
how
so
come in, like,
just for
half the
anyone
games
watching
you
right
did?
there, that was a visual glitch in the video because I watched it the first time and I thought he grabbed an RC, but the timer actually skips like 10 CVS 2 seconds, so it means that the video footage got fucked up. I'm good with details.
You fucking raw. Oh, that's Buck. Missed the RC. Or missed the fucking Rekka. Just Rekka again.
Yeah, dude. RC Rekka. Get in that ass, Campbell.
Roll
Scum
scum.
yeah.
Buck nasty. Dude, vintage Seth Killian commentary where he only said one word in between rounds.
He literally just, it was like he was watching a movie and just commenting on it.
Yeah,
Like,
it was just like, ooh, Buck nasty. No, Buck, don't go in that room. Blanca's there.
that was a spicy meme.
Oh yeah.
Why is
Hibiki being
Blanca
one of
so
the
big in this?
Hibiki was
The
one of
Alpha
the few
3
characters
sprite.
in the
Alpha
game.
3
that
characters
actually-
are big.
Dude, he's huge.
Dude, look at Sagat, man. All the Alpha 3 sprites are gigantic.
Big if true.
Geef, Honda,
They bigged him.
Got, Blanca,
Yo, this game got some hosses, dude.
and all the fucking, if you look at all the SNK characters, they're all designed much more realistic than cartoony, whereas the Alpha characters are very cartoony.
Fucking
Yeah,
A Blanca. God damn it.
That's okay. He got randomed out.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he got hit. He didn't get to play.
yeah.
3 out of 5.
Dude, Invincible A Groove Pop will go down in history as one of the dumbest fucking fighting game decisions of all time.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I believe that the only Capcom characters that got new sprites were Ken Ryu
Akuma, Chun-Li got a new one.
and yeah, Akuma.
Yun technically got a new one.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because it's not the 3S sprite. They're modeled
Oh,
after
that's
their
right, yeah.
they're modeled
Right,
after
you're
their
right.
3S designs, but it's not the 3S sprites.
You're right. I can, yeah.
Well, yeah,
Now
and
you
all the
point
characters
out.
that hadn't appeared in like a long time, like
Eagle,
Eagle,
Mako.
Kyosuke, Maki.
Maki. Man. We're never gonna see my girl Maki back in the game, are we?
Nope.
No, probably not.
Count your blessings.
Yeah. It's like when people go from NXT up to the main roster. It's bittersweet.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, do you want them to do?
No,
want
man.
this,
No,
you know?
I don't want it. I want NXT Eagle, dude. I don't need fucking.
Yeah, no, exactly. It's like at some point you realize that it's just better for them to stay.
Yeah.
in
You know,
NXT.
when can Alex go back on the indies, dude?
Yeah. Can we get
Dude,
Alex
is
back
Guile,
on?
Is Guile new or is Guile off of 3?
Guile's off for 3.
Oh, and Dictator's new.
Yeah.
Duh.
Yeah. Dude, the fucking Seth Killian commentary. Campbell Tran. This man became
He's
a
come a long
legend.
way.
Yeah.
He's come along.
We all got humble beginnings. Folks.
Just incredibly biased fucking incredibly biased mid-match commentary. It's just a sentence. Damn, Rekka gets blocked. You know RC Rekka's coming.
Oh my god.
Look at that.
so-
It's just RC's whiffing in the night. You see that?
Psycho Crusher was such bullshit.
Good move. It's a good move, Salami.
Good fucking move.
Look at that insight. A bison with full meter. Anything can happen.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, he had Chun in the back?
Yeah, I didn't notice that either, actually. Until
He switched game 3
Damn. Oh yeah, we never saw her.
or game 2. Sorry. No.
What the fuck are these?
These are some.
did
these
you-
are some really trying to close it out spinning bird kicks.
Did you hear the guy come on Campbell? Like that's actually the secret. Let's go, Justin.
Oh no.
Yeah,
Oh.
we fucking wake up throw.
Dude, that was only 10. That was only 10 minutes. Like,
Yeah, it
That
barely.
was only 10. That was,
dude,
that was
no.
a 2 out of 3, man.
You could totally have 3 out of 5 like that.
Yeah.
I need you to stop.
No, that's
I need to take a
that's
nap.
like dude, that's like injustice. Like,
I love CVS 2, but that game needs to fucking never look at the number 3 ever.
Okay,
Fucking-
hold on. I'm gonna watch one more video just because
I already closed this thing too, man.
oh, you fucking trash burglar.
I still got it.
I'm still watching it. I don't fucking
Yeah,
love
hold
this
on.
game. Let's see.
Just for the sake of example, man, that could have been, you know, a fluke match. So let's watch this one.
Buck's probably in my top 3 for fucking favorite CVS 2 players.
All right, so it's at 2 seconds on that.
Oh shit! This is my team.
Okay,
This is
so,
the video that. This is the reason why I play this team.
Of course it is.
Is this
Yeah.
video?
I like it, of course it is.
yeah.
Oh,
So
this team's awesome.
okay, so
Important
we
character.
again we have another set of aggressive players. Combo Fiend probably more rushdown than rushdown, dude. He is the white zombie of rushdown.
Dog. He is the meaning of RTSD.
Yeah. Yeah, you know your RTSD when you confirm off of one hit and fuck it up.
Man, give Ken back crescent kick.
Give him banana
Alright.
kick, man.
Ken got his ass kicked. Now he has everything he needs to come back.
Hey, yeah, he just got full rage. That is a mad American. You are not fucking with that guy. Look at that. That is
Yeah.
patented combo. Run up with jab throw. You'll also notice the range that he did it at. CVS 2 makes your throw hurt box fucking fat as hell if you're crouching.
Happy
And-
birthday, Alex.
Yay, I'm 32.
It's your birthday.
Yeah, be sure to follow, like, and subscribe, and then subscribe again.
I'm gonna unsubscribe.
Hey, now you got a 2 in your age too.
Yeah.
If you flip your age, it's like we're very similar age.
Wow, Sammy,
You're like
you-
24,
Sammy-
25.
That was fucking...
Sammy with that 2006 Seth Killian insight.
Dude, I like Sammy getting mad philosophical over here. It's like, you know, age is like a number that they give you when you're born.
But
You can't control the flow of time, but you can flow the control of time.
It's not about
Do
the
it.
birthday you're having.
Do it.
It's about the birthday you want.
Do it. Empty jump, Tiger Raid. Do it.
It's gonna run out.
Yeah, I know.
I want to point out that that's tough to TP.
Yep.
You need a buff DPs in the game, dude.
Oh yeah,
Hey,
give
We talked about this. Is this the only game where the snake actually becomes animated?
I
think so.
Mikey, was that an Alpha 3 or was that unique to this game?
I always thought it was sick.
Yeah, no, that's one of the coolest win poses ever. The fucking alive tattoo.
Man, it's almost like their
A3.
characters had personality.
What?
This is also my favorite cameo that they've made.
Yeah.
This
Also,
character's-
I want to point out that this game has a better looking Alex than Street Fighter 5.
Oh, 100%.
Look at him, he's
Man.
right over there. You can only see his headband in his head.
There's Leona too.
Look at those just defense.
Smash!
There's also the guy from Power Stone. Who's
Edward Falcon.
Eagle, I think, too.
Fokker.
Falcon.
Or Falcon.
Falcon. That's
Oh, no! No!
Too many
No!
Take the game!
Take the game!
Take the game!
Okay, so Mikey's saying he does have it in A3.
It's Fokker in the Japanese.
Yeah,
probably.
yeah, it's Fokker.
Meet the fuck.
Oh shit, we get Rock?
Oh,
Once
man.
again, once again, this is incredibly
fucking
aggressive
love
CVS2
combo
play.
By the way, who's the only other character I play at? It's fucking Rock.
This character is a trash burglar.
He's,
This character's good in this game.
he's all right
I wouldn't
in
go
this
that
game.
good.
He's all right. He's all right. He's all
Yeah,
right.
he's not Kyosuke, but he's definitely not like
Man, rest in peace, Kyosuke.
I
He
miss
ended up
that
being
character.
better at the end of the game's lifespan. He also was like,
Yeah.
one of the few characters. that-
Yeah, I mean, even Kyosuke wasn't king.
yeah.
I'm sad.
Like you really had to be Kyosuke.
You like bad characters, man.
You really had to be
Dude,
king. He got dunked.
Yeah. Dude, King's like everything except her gameplay was so good in that game.
Everything except her gameplay.
Yeah, everything, her sound, her costume, the way all the moves looked, all of that looked great. But actually
King
playing
looked really
her was
good.
sucks. Yeah.
Man, King looked mad good when she was getting her ass beat.
Pretty much.
Dude, she suffered
No
from like the
comment.
horrible CVS2 syndrome where it's just like, look man, we're just gonna add really long startup for no reason in a game where like 2-frame normals exist.
Dude, fucking Slide having just the fucking I need to crouch down.
Sammy blowing his mic out there.
I want to
Yeah,
point
well-
out that the fastest overheads in this game, like command overheads, I think are clocking in at around 24.
Probably makes sense.
Think about that. This game wasn't exactly designed with Let Rushdown in mind.
I can't think.
Man, Relento. This was a fun ass Relento to play.
He's basically just Alpha 2 Rolento.
Yeah, but then you got to have A Groove and be ignorant as
Well,
fuck.
you're forgetting Sammy's never played the alpha games.
Yeah, no, I've-
he's too
I
much of
suck
a
at
babby, dude.
You ain't.
We have to take him to like the fighting game Smithsonian for him to enjoy Alpha 2.
Jesus.
Yeah, I pretty much lucked out on playing like
Yeah.
MVC2 and CVS2.
It's like, hey, let's go, Sammy. We're gonna go to the Museum of Fighting Games. Mr. Valle is gonna tell you all about the Valle CC.
Dude, man, I thought you were actually just saying like we're going to Watt's house or some shit. Yeah, Eagle. This is one of the coolest characters in this game.
God, he's so fucking cool. I hope he never comes back.
That's exactly what you mean.
Oh, yeah, poke the shit out of him.
Aww.
Eskrima his ass.
Is this game 2? Yeah, that's only game 2. God damn.
Dude. It's only game 2, and we're already at like 6-something minutes.
This is exactly how, like, in Injustice, Theo versus Rio set went. Like, game 2 happened, and it's already like,
Yeah.
okay, 8 minutes in.
Also, thanks for the follow, Sleep In. Oh, okay, so this matchup... this matchup I actually think is even. Eagle gets to annoy Bison with pokes far better than any other character does. Also, his punishes for Cycle Crushers is just stand fierce, but it's
something.
It's actually I think one of the harder hittingest or easier to do far fierce as a punish as well.
Yeah, considering there's just characters in the game that can't punish it at all.
Yeah. Also, kick throws had a longer range, so you saw. Actually, no, that's the punch throw. I'm sorry. Kick
Punch
throws.
throw,
Kick throws do more damage.
Yes.
It's a
But
long
they
ass
also had
hop.
longer
Yeah.
startup.
Yeah.
Just throw him again. Do it again.
Do it again. Oh yeah, that's the other reason he's good. You can air-to-air the shit out of Bison with Eagle.
Yeah, Eagle actually didn't have that many bad matchups versus. Like, the top tier.
He did all right versus the top tier. Sammy, I was there.
Okay.
I fought the war.
I fought in the war.
Man, why do you have to win?
Yeah.
Because I wanted to see the cool Eagle win pose.
I want to point out, this is the winner's bracket. This might be a first of 3.
Oh my god.
Look, I gotta go.
Look, this is
It's my
aggressive.
birthday.
This is aggressive play. Happy birthday, Austin.
I need a coffee.
Yo,
I don't know what the problem is here. Yeah.
that was the Ume up ball. Because I honestly can't think of a reason to do it.
No, dude, it's Daigo. He just does shit.
Yeah, what was that
I think
activate?
it's brilliant.
triple hard ace chase on the
Yeah.
tech rolls.
Oh my god. Fucking combo. Yeah.
See, that's how you beat top players. Is you prove that they're idiots, just like the rest of us.
Mhm.
Fucking triple hard edge chase. Oh, we're just doing fucking
Yeah, he just went for it.
meaty shift run? That's cool. That beat out Rising Tackle, which is probably one of the best reversals in the game. RC Crystal Flash, kinda good. Oh, he went big money there.
This man is already low on life, so might as
Yeah.
well.
Where do you think, where do you think Vega went for the spooky tattoo? Do you think he went to the same place Claudio did?
Oh, maybe actually. Now that makes sense.
Yeah, one's Italian, one's Spanish. There's probably like some French.
Probably some middle ground.
Yeah.
Hey, that's a spicy tattoo.
God damn it.
Random place in Italy or Spain where you just
Yeah.
everybody gets the dope tattoo.
Yeah. Claudio got the Mike Tyson that gives you the spooky hand.
Yeah, they just went to the Netherlands.
Damn.
Good middle ground.
Combo. There's nothing quite like mid 2000s fighting game yelling in the background. Yeah.
Just guttural intonations.
Yeah, chuck 'em.
Oh shit, there's a new There's a new
Yeah.
BBFZ trailer.
Yo, he's straight up. Oh shit.
He just throws a grenade at his fucking.
I'm
Yeah.
watching it right now, actually.
Fuck CBS too.
Fuck you.
No, fuck you, Sam.
This game's awesome.
We'll play it after this. Hold on.
Man, all these guys yelling would get banned for coaching if this was a Smash event.
Oh yeah. Like, come on, man. You hear that?
All this coaching?
Let's go combo. You know what the best part about this is that APOC was very likely in the audience, and at the time, I learned how to play Eagle thanks to his like 4,000 word dissertation on Eagle's crouching medium punch.
Jesus.
He had Bible-sized posts on single buttons in the forums.
I love it.
Dude, the way they spell
I'll
Krillin
be
was
back.
cracking me up.
We'll talk about it then. in a moment.
Oh my god, it is killing me, man.
Is it the KU?
No, it's KLY.
Killing
Sure,
it.
okay.
It's
Alright, whatever.
KLILYN.
Okay, I'll take it.
That throw is so cool.
Death Tower.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of sad he doesn't have it in 5. Yeah, some links. This matchup sucks for Bison at this point. Alright, stops the throw attempt. Oh, that's a guard break. You're done. Wow.
What the heck?
RC Lariat.
He showed you.
Yeah.
Combo Fiend.
Oh my god.
So that was Combo Fiend versus Daigo in a pretty aggressive match up until that very last round. And that took nearly
12 minutes.
12 minutes.
I don't see the problem here. Honestly.
I see plenty of problems.
It's CVS too, and it deserves the time. This is the only game I'll do it for though. Like,
Now
I'm
imagine CVS2, Evo 2017, 2,500 people. 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 2,500 people.
Ooh boy.
You can't hear it, but I'm actually throwing up out of my butt.
Gross.
That's a good. That's called pooping.
Okay, you're suddenly the expert. Let's see. Oh, I can just change the source on this. Let's watch the Dragon Ball Z trailer.
Oh my god, we need to talk about 16, dude.
Hold on, we're gonna watch it.
Why is everyone so hyped for Android 16?
Dude, he's
Let
sick.
the
Have
let
you
the
seen
man
that
get some
mohawk?
love.
That man was willing to sacrifice his entire life.
Yo, this music's rocking. Yo, that gut punch Vegeta did? Did you see that? Prepare for the fighters, and it has a Z in it. Yo, K Lilin, K Lil N. Yo, he's got fucking trick shots. Yo, he's got these fucking rubber band beams.
Krillin.
Yo, Android 18 with 17, it's like it's got like it's like
almost-
coffee
What if
with
it's
milk.
what if it's like Melty Blood with the maids?
Yeah, and you can play
And you
like
just swap
18.
out.
Yeah, that'd be sick, right?
That would actually be really cool. I could see that as an alternate where it's
Yeah.
just 18 with 17. Or 17 with 18.
Is 18? So is 18 gonna be a puppet character? Or is she just gonna have things like with 17?
It might actually no. I think Steve's assessment might be the closest thing,
Mhm.
where it's the maids. Oh, what the fuck
Might
is this?
be.
Yo, what's this?
Soshite.
Wait, you can read this?
No, I just read one word.
Okay, thanks. It's like I only know that word in this sentence explaining it.
Oh, a bunch of Goku zombies?
Right?
Oh no, they Yamcha'd Goku. Yo, that was pretty sick. Hold on, there was something
So-
there that I wanted to claim as being extra tight. It's
Oh,
it's
this
the
has a story
it was
mode.
the Android 16 like
The dunk?
yeah, the dunk where he like
Oh, yeah.
Manhattan drops them. Hold on, let's watch that again.
Early 2018. I can't wait. We're fucking
So excited.
all the way.
Yeah, look at
fucking-
that. Look how fucking sick this looks. The fucking dunk get fucking planted. You see that? In that exact spot, there's gonna be a number 18 tree growing. It's the memorial ass whooping.
Dude, the fucking rocket hands?
Rocket Hands is pretty dope. Yeah.
They need to give him versus command grab.
Okay, so here's the interesting thing. It's 18. They label it as 18 with 17, right?
Mhm.
For a lot of the footage, she's the only one on the screen. And when we do see 17, it seems like it's just the super, like they named it, where it's potentially an install.
Oh, that could be dope.
Yeah,
Oh, we got some Marvel vs. Capcom 1 shenanigans going
yeah,
on? Control them independently?
yeah.
There is that moment. So there is that moment somewhere where it's like around exactly where 110 is,
hmm
where they have Krillin and 18 up at the same time.
Yeah.
Probably an assist.
No. This is what he's talking about.
No, like they
right
do-
there.
they-
Yeah, there's
they-
a very
oh.
particular frame where they're doing the pose that she does with 18 or with 17.
So there
There's, like,
might be
gatekeepers.
some like story based like
Character
teams.
interactions.
Yeah, character interaction.
That'd be kind of neat.
Oh,
Yeah. Like no. Look, he's got a point. Like immediately after they do that pose, they're both beating up the shit out of the cell.
Yeah, they're doing the exact same thing. Huh.
Yeah. I wonder if there's like unique tag supers.
It could even just be if you put Krillin and 18 on the same team, that 17 won't just be there. It'll just be
Dude,
18
that would
instead.
actually be godlike.
Fuck out of here, dude. I'm married.
Dog, he's got a rocket punch projectile.
Oh, 16?
Yeah, and he's got a dive kick. Where he just fucking
Oh
drops
yeah.
the
Wait, did he?
bomb.
Hold on. Let's go
That's
back and watch
song.
it. Also, his voice is pretty sick.
Yeah, did good with that.
The dunk is so sick.
Oh my god, he does have a dive kick.
Yo, double rocket hands?
They gave a grappler a dive kick. Oh no.
Tell you, dude, versus command grab, where you just fucking
Also-
grab you from that screen.
Can we point something out about how well crafted this fucking trailer is?
Oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah,
Like,
there's so many subtleties.
Yeah, you get all the little bits of wanting to know more, like all the individual supers you see at this instance right here. Like after the 16 going off, destroying the Earth. Like, I want to know what that stomp is for 18. That's Hellzone Grenade. I need to know what the fuck that tag team super is. Like,
I need to know
it
what the
does
fuck
a
is
fantastic
Krillin
job.
doing. What the fuck is Krillin doing? Can he set up all this shit just all the time? Is
Yeah,
he-
he's supposed to be
he's
the
a support
technique character. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Look,
so
dude.
sick.
Also, by the way, that's not Krillin. That's K Lil YN.
All right, I don't need Krillin's rap name.
Yo, K Lil Young.
Young Krillin.
You already know who it is. Piccolo, you crazy for this one. Yo, actually, Piccolo looks pretty sick. He's got the stretchy arms.
Yeah. Somehow somebody remembered they used to be able to do that.
They always give them that in the game.
Oh,
Yeah.
do they really?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's very common.
Yeah, at varying degrees of coolness.
Special beam cannon's actually faster than I'm surprised than it
Yeah.
would be.
Actually,
I feel
you
like
know what would be fucking sick about Special Beam Cannon?
if you can charge it,
Didn't they
That's
say
not
that you could?
walkable.
I thought.
maybe.
There's
I
no
think-
way you can't charge it. There's no way.
I think they went onto that.
Yeah. There's no way you can't charge it. That's impossible. I'm
Because
going on
somebody-
record right now. That's
Somebody translated it, right? Hold on, I'm trying to find it. What Alex trailer?
impossible. I'm actively saying that is impossible. It is impossible for them to make this game with Piccolo and have him have special beam cannon and not be chargeable.
So stated for February 2018 release date. Dragon Ball
So-
FighterZ is announced for that date. Also pre-ordering the game gives a beta code access plus 2 additional characters. Where the fuck is my wallet?
There's an interesting frame. It's when Piccolo's doing Hellzone Grenade, right?
Yeah.
Where 17 is projecting his force field. And 18 looks like she's coming down from something. It's a really weird animation
let's
thing.
go look at
I'm
it.
not for sure what it's about. Minute 8.
Oh. Huh. Yeah, you're right.
It might be. You think maybe that's a story mode thing?
No, because that's the in-game stage.
It definitely like what kind
It
of
might
move
be.
is
Well,
that?
no, it might
A
actually.
super freeze?
Yeah, it could be 2 super freezes going on at once, where he's already done the shockwave or the energy field, and Piccolo's just setting up this Hellzone Grenade. Huh.
Yeah, I think it's the super freeze for Piccolo's Hellzone
Yeah.
Grenade.
Oh, we got the English trailer.
Is there one?
Yeah.
Oh no, now I have to see it.
Now we
again.
gotta watch it again. In English.
But it won't be Krillin.
But will they change it to Rock the Dragon?
No.
Oh.
Please tell me it still says Krillin. Oh, it does it. Whack.
Oh, it's actually translated correctly?
Man, music sounds so fucking good.
The music's really good.
I hope there's multiple tracks, like old Japanese OST. That'd be so sick.
Alright. Did I forget to copy it? Boom.
Peggy 12.
It's using the Unreal Engine.
They're doing. Man, they're getting the most out of this fucking engine.
Let's see what the story is.
Dude, do you think Steve works out to this music?
Yes.
You should. We all saw John C. But I'd hello.
Yeah.
So Interesting thing. It definitely takes place before Super era, because you can tell it's
A forbidden story.
almost dressed.
Yeah, Krillin being like a support, technical, like setup character seems kind of neat.
Vegeta are pre-ordered.
Wait, the beta sign up is supposed to be today, isn't it?
Yes, the 22nd.
Yeah, pre-order.
You have to pre-order to get in the beta?
It guarantees you, I think.
Okay.
Damn, we get a unique story or a forbidden story? This is not kid stuff.
God damn, excited. I'm still real curious about the Marvel gem.
I like how they show that
Pre-order
ending
now and get
photo.
open beta early access. Yo, look at this fucking collector's edition.
Oh,
It's
I don't want-
I need to point out something. It's a collector's box. It's got a fucking Z in this bitch.
Already out the door.
Bro, like hold on. I need to know.
I'm hoping we get like a bunch of different alts like that casual 18.
Oh yeah, like tracksuit 18.
Mm-hmm.
I hope they do like a, because I'm not one for like getting statues and shit. So
Yeah.
if there's any way I can just get just the steelbook, that'd be pretty dope.
Oh, dude, I love statues.
I love steelbooks, honestly. I think they're always looking really nice. By the way, I was gonna ask you how the hell you got the fucking Guilty Gear font.
Huh?
Where'd you get the Guilty Gear font?
The internet.
Oh, okay.
If you want it, I can just send it to you.
Yeah. No, I definitely want to do stuff with it.
So that's pretty sick. I enjoy it. And they'll collect tours box, man. And you get one of those cool statues. Dude, these are the statues that have the fucking the manga coloring. Have you fucking seen those? Are you a savage?
Love it.
Man, I can't believe this game's coming out for PC. That shit blows my mind, honestly. Fucking 2017's wild.
Damn, for the personal computer system.
I was, man. I talk about this every. It's just like it seems like it happened so quickly. Where it's just like, all of a sudden you're like, yeah, hey, you play all your fighting games on PC now, because we had early 2017, but like four games came out during that time. Fucking Rev 2, KOF, Blaze Blue, and Tekken all came out at the same time.
It's a good year.
It's a very good year.
I'll probably call the stream on that since that's an exciting finish. Dude, the
Yeah.
collector's box.
I'm gonna watch it.
Also, the steelbook's pretty tight.
Yeah, Steel looks real good.
All right, y'all be good. Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe, donate, follow, and then subscribe again. I'll come up with an emote soon enough.
A meme.
Yeah, we have a few of them lying around.
Yeah. Phenometron.
Phenometron. Yeah.
I really want it to be Phenometron. We'll do that after we get some wrestling shows under our belt.
Oh yeah.
All right, y'all be good.
Yep.